effort from your guys on Saturday night?
Yeah, that was a great team effort all around. Just a fun game to be involved in, and guys played extremely hard throughout the whole game, and that's the key. Come out of the tunnel swinging and finish that way.
How about your group specifically?
Very pleased with them. Ambry gave up a couple throws at a big guy, a couple things we talked about it obviously, and if he did a couple little things different, maybe that didn't happen. But in our position with all the man we play, we talk about it all the time. They're going to catch footballs, and it's how you handle it after that is what matters. And I'd say the outcome was favorable. And
those throws and catches were pretty high quality.
They were very high quality. That's a good receiver. He's a big, strong guy. A lot of kudos. And a guy that stays on the field and plays special teams, too. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Claypool's he's a special player. Pretty good.
What's been the key to this defense as a whole, really stopping the run the past few games?
Yeah, Coach Brown is very adamant about stopping the run, and we practice stopping the run. So we spend a lot of time in practice working on the gaps. We're a gap defense, just everybody in their gaps, building our walls, and I think that's a big key of it. Everybody knows their assignments very well, and everybody's in their gaps. It sounds simple, but it always isn't,
So
but that's
what are the key
doing.
player traits then to succeeding with Don Brown's approach to the run?
Key player traits: toughness,
Okay, sure.
smart. All the things you want in a good football player, right? Tough, smart, fast, strong, all those kind of things. But just really being assignment sound helps you so much in the run game because you know where you got to fit, especially when a team has a lot of poolers. You know where you got to go and fit. So I think that's pretty much the key.
Not trying to bring back a bad memory, but a couple games ago, the big play to Hamler, what happened on that?
Yeah, it was just bad communication, and one guy thought it was this, the other guy thought it was that, and we should have had a post safety. He wouldn't even run that route. He would have broke it off, I'm sure, and run a different route. So that was a little frustrating to give them the 6 points, but they saw it and took advantage of it, so hats off to them. But that's what happened. There was just some miscommunication with the call.
Is that a function of the whiteout, or at this stage in the game, are you surprised that it happened?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I don't know. There's some calls that may sound the same, and I think that might have happened.
It seems like you guys are playing more zone defense. What does that process of adding that to your repertoire look like?
Well, it's we have been playing a lot more zone, and I think it's helped in a lot of aspects, especially in the passing game because they're not expecting it. But within all that zone coverage, we're still pressuring, so that is a big plus for us and a big part of the success in the run and the pass game.
What does it look like for you as a teacher versus when you guys are talking strictly man, the past couple of years versus this year, there's a lot more zone?
It's all the same. We basically have two coverages, the single high stuff, man stuff, and then the eagle concept. So we've been doing it. We've been teaching it. This is my 4th year doing it. So it's been there, just probably not as visible as it has been in the past.
So I guess what's the reason behind using it more often this year versus in previous years then?
Because it's working. I think, not being a smart ass, but I think because it's working, and it's working in the pass game too. So it just gives a little different flavor, if you will.
I guess overall as a coach philosophy, do you feel like defenses have to stay fresh? You can't really show an opponent one thing over years. That's a great point. I think every week, and every week Dawn does add a little different flavor into it, a little change in the pattern here and there. So yeah, you have to make changes weekly, but the core of it pretty much stays the same, and that's how you get better.
How different is this Maryland offense compared to last year's?
Yeah, I think they're scary because I think there's a lot of talent there. I watched the Howard game. I just got done watching the Syracuse game. They're just missing a click somewhere. You know, and we can't be the opponent that they come and get better on. You know, they have talent. They have really good running backs. Tight ends are good, and the receiving core is pretty good. And the number 7 has got 31 catches. I mean, that's a lot of production. So certainly can't fall asleep. They are a good football. Underneath whatever happened to them, there's a good football team underneath that. And, you know, we got to come out, like I said earlier, we got to just come out of the locker room swinging and get ready to play a good game.
Do you get the sense this week that it's a little more personal for Josh Gaddis, coaching against Lux?
Yeah, against Locks, yeah. I'm sure it is for Josh, big time. I'm sure it is.
Did you read any of the little?
I don't read the paper.
Well, I think it was talked about on the radio. Wow, that really hurt.
Yeah, I remember I played in Philadelphia. So you talk about
That's true.
not wanting to read or listen to the radio. That's one place. That's where I learned. So
Did they like you in Philly?
I'd like to say they did. Probably not my last year, but those other ones, yeah.
Generally speaking, do you think it's easier for a player from defense to become an offensive player?
I don't know that, Angelique. That's a good question. I know. I think I'd be a hell of an offensive coordinator. You know, so.
We all know that.
No, but you just. I think being on the defensive side of the ball so long, you get a different feel, different view.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think, you know, I think it's proven that he can do it. So he's
I was just
doing
thinking about
it, yeah.
Haskins. You know, I was
Yeah.
thinking about, you know, being a linebacker and then now being a running
Right,
back. And,
right.
I mean, you've seen defensive players who've.
Well,
done
that's a lot that has to do with that is vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're a good linebacker, you're going to be a good running back because you're going to see the color. Boom, you're going to be able to see the change in the lanes. So I think that fits. That makes sense. Jim Kelly was a linebacker. Yes.
Did you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So what would be your hashtag if you were offensive coordinator?
I would have high school quarterback.
I know, but Gaddis is speed and space. What would be yours?
I'd 2 backs in the backfield, bang, pound, power all day.
Hashtag power all day.
That's it.
Ben Mason will be back there for you.
Oh yeah.
How are your young guys doing, DJ and the other guys?
DJ's coming along great, really has. You know, Vincent Gray, he's getting a lot of action. He's playing quite a bit. Jamon Green, he's starting to show development. Probably a spring away from being a pretty dangerous guy back there. And then DJ Ford just coming in here in the summer, you know, doing very well, very well.
What are his strengths?
He's fast, he's strong, and he's physical. You know, and the same with Jamon. You know, it's the same with Vincent. You know, young guys that are got some good length to them, and are physical and can run.
At this point in the season, how much does the coaching staff get together and talk about maybe like, hey, should we get some true freshmen in the game or trying to preserve the red shirt at this point?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It happens pretty much once a week. Yep. And you know, if we're trying to win a game and we need a guy, chances are he's going to play. But if that isn't involved, you know, let's save him. Let's keep him around.
So like
if we can.
The opponent plays a big role in that?
Excuse
the
me?
opponent plays a big role in that?
Yeah, or injury. You know, I think injury more than anything. You know, does the guy go in the game just to go in the game, or, you know, do we really need him? And I think that it's need more than just letting him play, in my opinion.
He's not one of your guys, but Jordan Glasgow, what does he bring to this defense?
He brings great effort. The guy works. He just works his tail off, man. And he's a smart player, very cerebral. Maybe sometimes too cerebral, but
What does that mean?
he just you can sometimes hear him computing. You know.
On the field, you can hear him.
Well, I love him. I mean, the guy he plays hard every play, and he knows what he's doing. So he's always seems to always be in the right spot. He's really good.
Smart's good though.
Oh
right?
no, smart is great.
You
Smart is
maybe
great.
overthink something?
I just kind of have a little jab with him.
Oh,
That's
really?
all. Yeah. But no, he. If we had 11 of them, you'd be happy. You know, He's a hell of a football
He sort of
player.
joked, because Harbaugh made that joke about having 100 of them, and he said, well, I don't think you'd really want 100 of, his body type and his
Right.
athleticism. But he does,
Right.
is he the type of guy who makes up for maybe what he's not a 5-star, he's not Dex, but, but with his smarts?
His work ethic. I think it's his work ethic, and I think people don't give him enough credit athletically. I mean, he can run, and he's strong. He's pretty damn good. He's a good football player. I think you'll be seeing him on Sundays too.
Do you?
I do. Heck yeah. Think of him, special teams.
Yeah.
He'd play all 4 of them, and you wouldn't be afraid to. I wouldn't be afraid. You've seen the production he's had. I wouldn't be afraid to put him in a game. I think he'll be out there with his brothers. Pretty cool.
Could Dax Hill play corner for you in a pinch?
Absolutely, absolutely he could. Yeah, he's a talented kid, man. Really talented. He's going to be dangerous once he gets to know this system. He really is.
How far away is he from really knowing?
Yeah, a spring. Once he gets this year done and gets in the spring ball, I think it'll be lights out from there on.
Is he a guy that you can use in a number of different ways and we'll tinker with in the spring doing
Yeah, I mean he's inside now, and Angelique, he can be outside and certainly inside, in the post. So he can do a lot of things for us for sure.
Jim said on Saturday that losing and then responding in the way that your team did was an important lesson. What have you seen as far as what have they learned? What did you see from the response? And then how
Yeah.
can a win catalyze, I guess, the rest of the season a little bit?
Well, what I saw after that Penn State game was a really determined group of guys coming out Tuesday for practice. Probably one of the best Tuesday practices I've ever been around. So they were very determined to show, I think to show the nation that what you saw the other night isn't really what we are. We could be better coming out of the locker room for sure, but that second half and how we played, that is us. And I think they made that statement Tuesday, and it carried over on to Saturday. And that's what we got to do going forward these next 4 games, big time.
Do you think the success on Saturday can kind of validate, hey, if you come out on Tuesday, it'll show?
Yeah, I think, and they did the same yesterday. It was really another good Tuesday practice. So I really believe, as I said earlier, they're starting to see starting to form a team and a belief. You could see it. I certainly could feel it. So it's a good thing.
That line is very thin, though, from collapsing after a second loss and then doing what they've done. Does that come from the players, that they encourage, or is it all,
No,
the coaches?
you know what? I think it's their experiences. They're playing in these games, being around these games, and then you start to form a callus, and I hope that callus keeps building, and I think it will, based on what we've seen the last 2 weeks and yesterday in practice. Hopefully that will keep growing.
So maybe it's more coming from them?
I think so. I think it is.
It's
I
not
really
you
do.
yelling at them or any of them.
We have to do. We do our job, but at the same time, I think there's something burning in them. I really do.
The way pass interference is being called and not being called, does that change the way you coach? No, I said, does that
Chris,
change the way that you
Yeah.
coach?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Is it frustrating?
It really is. It really is frustrating. I come to work. I'm held accountable every day. I know the Big Ten take care of the official stuff, but there should be some more clarity on it. I mean, that call was not interference, but I got to stay in my little foxhole, do my job, coach my guys, and then officials take care of the officials. But yeah, it'd be nicer if it was a little cleaner.
Do you wish that they had replay on that?
No, I personally, I'm not a big fan of replay. I think people rely on it too much, and it kind of loosens in my mind, they're too relaxed. all right, well, let's just go up to the video booth and let's see what they say. You know, rather than old time, oh, wait, no, we'll keep it right here. You know, but that's me.
Those questionable PI calls, did you guys submit those to the Big Ten for review?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, we submit all questionable calls.
Did
Yeah.
they come back with you or response? Or did they tell you guys?
I don't know. That would be a question for David. I haven't seen any of that.
What do you think they saw on that play?
I don't know. I really don't. I wish I could answer that, but I don't. I don't know. Maybe he had a bad view, bad angle.
I think everybody had a good angle on that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
How about the Nico play the week earlier? Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Call the Big Ten. Yeah, call the Big Ten commissioner and talk to
King
him.
of bad officiating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Coach.